What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel here with the Los Angeles Chargers team breakdown. So let's get right into it. Last season, the Chargers went 5-12, which was last in the AFC West and 15th in the AFC, missing the playoffs. Overall, a very disappointing season for the Chargers. They were one of the worst teams in the NFL after going into the season with pretty high expectations. And obviously, it's not all just on them underperforming. They did deal with a lot of injuries all over the place, but still a disappointing season nonetheless. Looking at how the team has changed this offseason, starting with the losses, it is a very new team this season than what it has been. Obviously, before we even get to the players, coaching change made Brandon Staley fired, which I think was pretty overdue. He kind of probably should have been out after last season, in my opinion. But they do bring in Jim Harbaugh, who I think will be a much better coach, and I think could kind of be the missing piece that this team has kind of needed, that is maybe been holding them back from where they're supposed to be, because I feel like they always underperform their expectations. But looking at the actual player losses, there are a lot. Starting on the offense, their main core of offensive weapons, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Austin Eckler, all gone. Also losing Jalen Guyton at receiving depth, Josh Kelly in the running back room as well, and then Gerald Everett. So the offense losing a lot of playmakers. All of your top guys are gone. Obviously, you still have Justin Herbert, but all of the weapons have kind of been stripped away. Defensively, losing Kenneth Murray is the only one, and then losing Corey Linsley at center. Looking at the additions, brought in a decent amount of guys, nothing too crazy though. Starting on the offensive side of the ball, bringing in two tight ends in Will Dissly and Hayden Hurst. Just filling in that tight end spot. Don't have like a huge number one tight end, but you do have some solid guys there. To address the running back room, you bring in two Baltimore guys in Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. At receiver, bringing in DJ Chark, more of just a depth piece, but because the receiver room is really thin right now, he will probably get a decent amount of playing time. And then on the defensive side of the ball, bringing in Bud Dupree at outside linebacker, Christian Fulton at corner, Denzel Perriman at linebacker, Poona Ford on the defensive line, and then getting a new center in Bradley Bozeman. Looking at the draft class as well, the Chargers spent the number 5 overall pick on offensive tackle Joe Alt, who was the top tackle in the class. Definitely filled the need for the Chargers, kind of solidifying that offensive line. You really did need a tackle, and now you should have a pretty good one playing on the other side of Rashawn Slater. So it's a good tackle duo there. Then in the second round, getting Ladd McConkey. I thought you got excellent value on Ladd McConkey. I thought he should have gone in the first round. Ended up getting him at the top of the second. As I mentioned already, the receiving room, very thin. So I think McConkey will step in right away to be one of, if not the top weapon for Justin Herbert next season. We'll have to see if Quentin Johnson can kind of recover from a not good rookie season. A lot of people are already calling him a bust after 1 year. So he's definitely going to need to take a step up. But I do expect Ladd McConkey to play a huge role. Then addressing the defense with the next few picks, Junior Colson at linebacker, and then defensive end and a pair of defensive backs, and then another running back and two receivers to round out the class to just fill in that receiving depth. Looking at the Chargers' opponents for next season, playing in the AFC West, so playing the Chiefs, Raiders, and Broncos twice a year. The Chiefs, obviously the biggest threat of those three teams. The Raiders and Broncos I don't think should be too bad, but obviously the Chiefs are a very good team. In addition to that, playing the AFC North and NFC South. The AFC North, obviously, 4 very talented teams, especially the Ravens and Bengals, I think are 2 of the top teams in the NFL. The Browns and Steelers are also good and will obviously pose a challenge for the Chargers next season. In the NFC South, the Buccaneers and Falcons, I think are going to be pretty good. Probably around the same level as the Chargers. And then the Saints and Panthers we'll kind of have to see, but I don't expect them to be as good. Additionally, playing the Titans, Patriots, and Cardinals. A lot of unknown with those three teams. Could end up being pretty good, but as of right now, I don't have as high of expectations for any of those teams. Looking at a ceiling for the Chargers, I have at 11-6. And this may seem kind of aggressive just because obviously this is a Chargers team that on paper has gotten significantly worse from last season, roster-wise. And last season they went 5-12. Obviously, there were a lot of injuries last season, but the players that were injured last season, a lot of them are now just gone. But I do think that the coaching change and also some of the additions, I think you still have a top 5 quarterback in the NFL in Justin Herbert. So I think that there is a world where you can have a very competitive team next season. In this scenario, I have them sweeping the Broncos and splitting the Chiefs and Raiders, losing to the Ravens and Bengals at home while beating the Saints, Buccaneers, and Titans, and then losing to the Browns and Falcons away while beating the Steelers, Panthers, Patriots, and Cardinals. On the other side of things, I have their floor at 7-10. This is just kind of a result of the roster not being what it was, specifically on the offense. You do have Herbert, but maybe the weapons around him just aren't enough, and the team doesn't perform as well. In addition, I have them splitting all the divisional opponents, beating the Saints, Titans at home, and the Panthers and Patriots away, and then losing all their other games. As for my actual prediction for the Chargers, I am going to be pretty confident in what they can do next season. I have them at 10-7, which I think might be kind of aggressive, but I am optimistic that they will perform pretty well. Obviously, I'm a huge believer in Justin Herbert. I do think he's a top 5 quarterback, and I do think that while the team around him is worse talent-wise than it was last year, I think if they're able to stay healthy and with the new coaching staff, I think they can ultimately perform a lot better. So in this scenario, I have them splitting the Chiefs and Raiders, sweeping the Broncos, and then beating the Saints, Buccaneers, and Titans at home while losing to the Ravens and Bengals, and then losing to the Browns, Falcons, and Cardinals away while beating the Steelers, Panthers, and Patriots. That's all I have to say for the Los Angeles Chargers for next season. If you have any thoughts that you'd like to share, anything you disagree with, anything you agree with, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'd love to read them. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.